Hey, this is Matt once again. What about you in the video is another paid request for Walter. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. He wanted me to do a commentary on the 2015 film The Gift, which I have seen before and I do remember liking the film. It's directed by Joel Edgerton. He stars in it, same with Jason Bateman. And I'll do my best on the commentary, so we will see. But have you seen the film? I will pause the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As the Universal logo starts up, I will again do the best that I can. Sorry if the commentary sucks ass. But if anyone wants to request any type of videos, reviews, topics, reactions, tier list, topic, re-review, review, reaction, whatever, feel free to send it directly to my PayPal. That's usually the best bet. Or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, there's been a few films called The Gift. There was one that Sam Raimi directed back in the day. That has nothing to do with this. That's more of someone who has a psychic gift. Keanu Reeves is in the film, and some other recognizable people. This one is an interesting Blumhouse, but it's a Blumhouse film that's actually worth a shit. Because I think Joel Edgerton did an interesting job where the story, for a chunk of it, you don't know where your point of view lies in, as in who to root for. And in a weird way, even though I'm not supportive of everything Joel Edgerton's character does, I still kind of understand his psyche, and a part of me still roots for him in a weird way. But I think that's kind of the point, is that, typically it'd be he's a psycho, this is the normal couple, it's a remake of Pacific Heights, but it's not. It's not. You find out there's a lot more to Joel Edgerton's character and a lot more to Jason Bateman's character. Joel Edgerton's character is a bit more tragic than you realize he's more tragic, and then Jason Bateman, you realize he's more manipulative and dickish, which is a nice change of pace because he does not usually play those kind of roles. Like, if you think about it, Jason Bateman is more the villain in the movie in a way. Even again, I don't subscribe to everything Joel Edgerton's character does either. So it's just that he's been altered psychologically because he's sort of the monster Jason Bateman is made. Imagine Jason Bateman's Frankenstein and Joel Edgerton's the Frankenstein monster. You made me this way. But technically, he doesn't hurt anybody. And there's that question at the end of the film. I mean, if you're watching me doing a commentary, you've seen the film, so spoilers. By the end, you find out Jason Bateman's character was a manipulative piece of shit, fucked over Joel Edgerton when he was a kid, made these allegations and lies that ruined his life, that Joel Edgerton was this and this and this happened, so then his dad or stepdad tried to murder him, and he was sent to all these institutions, and everyone gave him the most horrible bullying tactics, and Jason Bateman was laughing about it. He did it because he could, as one person says, because it was able for him to be successful. So it's this guy hiding behind this facade. And there's Joel Edgerton behind them. But you kind of find out that what was his at the end of the film, Joel Edgerton filmed something that makes it seem as if he had sex with Jason Bateman's wife when she was unconscious. I don't think he did, because the whole basis of this thing was a lie that people believed in and ruined a life. So now this case, he's put so much doubt in the Jason Bateman character that he's broken Jason Bateman's character down psychologically. And just like Jason Bateman manipulated everybody, he was able to manipulate Jason Bateman. Now, granted, this lady did not do anything, so I don't know. But at the same time, he doesn't really terrorize her. But at the same time, he did drug her. But I don't think he did anything to her. Again, I think he did that to just purposely fuck with Jason Bateman and ruin his life, just like Jason Bateman ruined his life. So it's this fine line that I thought was a really interesting. And Joel Edgerton did a good job, and also acting wise. I probably back in the day gave him grief, but only because I gave everybody grief that was in the Thing prequel, because I fucking hate the Thing prequel. But honestly, Joel Edgerton wasn't bad. He just, how the hell could you save that fucking piece of shit movie? The Thing. Just Joel Edgerton was that. He was also in Warrior. He's been in a lot of other movies. Not a whole lot, but I'd actually like to see Joel Edgerton in more movies. But yeah, that's what made the plot interesting, is that you think, okay, it's going to be, he's a psycho, they're the normal couple. Again, like a lot of films in the 80s, the Ham, the Ross, the Cradle, Pacific Heights. I mean, there was a whole subgenre of those type of movies. But there's a little bit more going on. And that's what made it interesting for me. That's what made me go, oh, okay, there's something a bit more to this, where I actually sympathize with Joel Edgerton's character, and I get mad at Jason Bateman's character. So Joel Edgerton wrote the film and directed the film. Now, the films he's done, he was the young Uncle Owen in Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3. Let's see, he was in a bunch of films I've never heard of. Warrior, The Thing, Zero Dark 30, Exodus, Gods and Teens. Black Mass. He did a good job in that with Johnny Depp. It Comes at Night, which I was not a fan of that movie, but it wasn't Joel Edgerton's fault. The Green Knight, I wasn't a fan of that movie, but it's not his fault. Yeah, definitely a lot of like smaller movies for the most part. Oh, of course, how could forget Bright? He co-starred with Will Smith in Bright. He was the Joel Edgerton was the orc. What was it? He was Will Smith's partner in Bright. Because, yeah, Will Smith was the human and Joel Edgerton was the orc. And I love Bright. A lot of people didn't like that movie, but I thought that was very refreshing. I still like Bright. So, yeah, he was in that, of course. I didn't think of it because he's playing, an orc, but there you go. He was actually, I guess, in the 2003 Stooges TV movie as Tom Cosgrove. Okay. So. Now, the lady who stars is Rebecca Hall. I'm like, she looks familiar. What have I seen her in? Oh, she was in Iron Man 3. Well, that's not her fault. Godzilla vs. Kong. Not her fault. Transcendence. A lot of films did not like. Oh, The Town. Okay, I did like that one, The Town. I think that's what I remember the most from was The Town. Yeah. Okay, yeah, she was with Ben Affleck in The Town. Was she Ben Affleck's girlfriend? Yeah. The Town's a really good one. Ben Affleck did a really nice job with that movie. Once again, showed he could direct. Yeah, Gordo. I mean, a lot of people say that he did do that to the girl at the end of the film. And that's kind of what I was looking at. If you wonder what was being said, a lot of people say, well, actually, no, he did actually do that to this lady at the end of the film. I just don't think he did it. I think he manipulated it. He did the wrong thing, drugging her, but I don't think he went that far. I think he. As it says here, we know that Gordon has done enough with Robin to mess around with Simon, Jason Bateman's head on who the father child is. It's exactly what he wanted. Now, granted, there's a bit of like, well, a DNA test could easily confirm that, but he makes Robin wonder how well she knows her husband, whom she learns was a terrible bully in high school who did something so awful to Gordo that ruined his life. And she learns that Simon is Jason Bateman's character is still a terrible bully who does something to get promotion at work that is way beyond what a normal, ordinary, ambitious person would do. Of course, I guess people could say the gift is he gave her the gift of a baby that he could never do. But I guess that's how people may view the ending to that film. But I thought it was like, because his background was putting all these doubts into everybody's head about Gordon and what ended up not being true, the doubt itself is what destroys the life. That doubt and no trust. Because Gordon seems smart enough that, yeah, they could just do a DNA test. I don't know, maybe I'm just not. My thought on the ending is completely different from other people. Gordon's move is brilliant. He makes Simon live in doubt on whether the child was his or not. If he tells Robyn that Gordon raped her and wants a paternity test, it will only drive Robyn further away since Robyn thinks Simon's just lying and a bully as per usual. But if he doesn't do the paternity test, Simon will live in the fear of not sure if the baby was his. Simon ruined Gordon's life by starting a false rumor indicating that Gordon was molested in a car in a parking lot because he could. When Gordon's father heard the story, he beat him and even attempted to kill him, leading to Gordon being sent to military school. Apparently, there's an alternate ending that makes it 100% clear that Gordo did not assault Robin, and the scheme was solely about revenge on Simon, but he didn't go with this because he felt it didn't have the same impact. In other words, creating that question mark. Anyway, I know enough of that about that, but it's definitely something that we're leading to. It makes it interesting enough. It's interesting to think about, I should say. Like I said, it's definitely a different take for Jason Bateman, who's usually known for comedies. Where let's see where Teen Wolf 2, that's what it was. His like first big film, Teen Wolf 2. Starsky and Hutch, Dodgeball, The Breakup. I liked him in The Kingdom with Jamie Foxx. That was a good one. Hancock. Up in the Air. Paul, the agent that was rooting and trying to help the alien. Paul is a fun movie. Identity Thief, I didn't mind. Well, I didn't mind him. I did not like Melissa McCarthy in that. Zootopia, he's the voice of Nick Wilde. Forgot he did that voice. Yeah, he did a good job in that. I sent him fish. Koi fish. Pretty damn good luxurious apartment, I'll say that. I think when I first saw this, I went, okay, I don't know where this is leading to, but so far the acting is fairly good. The direction seems pretty competent, and kind of interested to see where this is leading to. So, an interview with Joel Edgerton, he says, I wanted to bend the rules a bit and take to a new territory. What would it be like if the bad guy sort of vanished, sort of left them alone, but didn't really? You take the dog away for the couple. He's stolen the dog. What's going to happen? Well, of course, the dog's going to end up in 5 pieces. But then you do the opposite. You turn it around. What I wanted to do was swap the roles of the villain and the hero. As much as the film's about the bad things you've done in your past, what if they came back to haunt you? So it's about who are the people we're living with and what we think we know. want to say something as well. I want to say something about the nature of people, whether they change or don't change. The nature of the roles we play in high school and at what age we're culpable for what we do and say. Hmm. Oh, he read the stuff on the fridge. Weirdo, Gordo. Hmm. Even though Goro suggested the baby is his, it is much more likely that the baby is actually Simon's. Goro relies on emotional and psychological manipulation, not physical. Therefore, it would be out of character for him to suddenly assault Robyn when there is no evidence that he would ever be physically violent against her in the first place. It's also important to note that Goro's story heavily parallels the fabricated story Simon made about Goro being molested. Goro could be creating a similarly fictional story to make it seem like Robyn was assaulted as revenge for Simon's bullying. Inventing the story creates severe mental disturbance for Simon without the event needing to occur. Yeah, the line, you see what happens when you poison other people's mind with ideas. One could argue that Simon could always get a paternity test done to resolve his anxieties. That would involve telling Robyn that she may have been assaulted, which could ultimately be a lie. So the thing, if he tells her this, and then freaks her out, and then it's like, no, he's the father, and it's like, well, what the fuck's going on here, and all this stuff. So more than likely, it could be one of those things where after high school, after what happened, after the guy was almost killed by his own dad at the military school, maybe Jason Bateman hid it, his own personality, his own attributes to give this facade that he's this different kind of human being. Met this woman, put on a facade where they got together and they got married. But then seeing this guy from school kind of reminds him of his heyday, what he was able to do, what he was able to get away with. And he's like, look, I'm married, I'm successful, I got away with, this guy's beneath me, I think nothing of you. And maybe he can't help himself that it just pops up yet again in, out of his psyche to the point he feels like he can do anything he wants and get away with it. I would not be looking around another person's home. Not at all. I guess also the other topic is if Jason Bateman maybe had grown as a character, if he had been a better person, if he learned to not be a douche, then maybe Uh-oh. Of course, he's speaking for his wife, which his wife didn't fucking say that, but of course, the asshole. Fucking dick. Yeah, I bet. Sorry, I'm not saying that. I'm just watching it. So maybe this sort of notion where he's watching like this fucking guy. You know, no, I'm gonna piss you off. You want to treat me like shit? I'm gonna piss you off. You have to leave right away. Fine, I piss you off now. You can go. Fuck you, buddy. Fisher did. Now, wait a minute. He said don't drink the water, right? See, now I wonder about something. I swear he said I apologize. Just pause it at 42 minutes and 9 seconds. Pause it. I'll be back to that. There's something I want to see real quick. This phone conversation that he says. Okay, so she got home and saw the fish. And they got a call. Don't touch them, don't touch the water, okay. So... okay, I'm going to pause at 42 minutes and 9 seconds. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Because now, it was kind of this wild theory. I was thinking, well, like, what if he killed the fish himself because he didn't want the fish there in the first place? But I guess, I guess maybe he would have killed the fish. That he killed the fish and then stole the dog. I guess there was a part of me I was wondering maybe he himself killed the fish and then Gordon was going to give a gift and saw that and he was pissed off. So he's like, well, fuck you, I'm going to steal your dog now. That would actually be kind of interesting if that was the case. That Simon... what if Jason Bateman, he just pissed off by what Gordon did, and he didn't want this fish here in the first place. So he's like, fuck it, I'll kill this fish. And then she's kind of like... he didn't seem too surprised when he answered the phone. And he's like, you know what? Just don't drink the water. He seemed much more surprised that the dog was gone. So maybe Gordon, who's watching them, is like, oh, you killed my fish, huh? Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna steal your dog. Because I don't know why he would kill the fish. That's the thing, as part of his plan, why would he kill the fish himself? That doesn't really make sense in part of his plan. So, I think most people just assume, yeah, Joel Edgerton's character killed the fish, but I'm like, well, what if Jason Bateman again killed the fish because he's like, I don't want your gift, fuck this gift, I don't like this fish anyway, fuck, and... yeah, I guess that's up to the viewer. Again, most people would think would see Joel Edgerton, but I kind of like the idea that maybe he had killed the... Damn, all these damn pills. I think that's another thing about this character, that she has a history of pills, something like that. But yeah, even when I first saw it, even by this point, I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of a slow burn, but it's well acted. Joel Edgerton has this nice persona, and then Jason Bateman, dickish persona. Okay, now the wife is, popping pills. Don't don't steal pills. Now, granted, she had nothing to do with this, so that's kind of the bad side of this Joel Edgerton character. She had nothing to do with it. She's an innocent bystander, so you I cannot give a free pass to the Gordon character either, because she had nothing to do with this, and she's been nothing but nice to him. So that's why I wouldn't understand why he would kill the fish. That just doesn't. What reason does he have to do that? I don't understand that bit of it. That's why I kind of wish they made it more clear. Like, if they had made it somewhat clear that, oh shit, actually, he, Jason Bateman killed the fish, and maybe like a line of dialogue to suggest that maybe that's what Jason Bateman had done. Like, hey, I really like that fish. You didn't have to do that. And then maybe maybe Jason Bateman ignores him or something. See her just shaking her head, going, "Can you just leave this guy alone?" He can't talk, lady. He's a dog. Good looking dog, too. I don't know what breed that is. I'm not good at that kind of shit. Red letter. It's red. Maybe it's Valentine's. I mean, ideas in all essence, it's not to make either one look like a good guy. Like I said, it's kind of the Frankenstein monster, in a way. Like I said, Jason Bateman's the Frankenstein. Here's the monster you created. I mean, I guess you would say the person to root for is Rebecca Hall's character, to be fair. And some of me ask, well, why did he film it? It could be one of those things that if she eventually got pregnant, then he could show her, he would send the footage. Like if it eventually happens, well, I filmed this, so here you go. You don't know exactly when I filmed this. Yeah, I forgot there was that jump steer, and then like, oh shit, what the hell was that? Damn, stop spilling shit. I mean, maybe this is a point that is a play expectation for the audience, again, thinking he'll be there and watch it, and again, to be more of the Michael Keaton Pacific Heist type of villain. Or just showcasing her anxiety as to why she is in this headspace. There's her Gatorade. Also, I wonder if some, like, probably the prescription pills, but I wonder if some of her behavior is showcasing that she's pregnant. And they just don't do the test until later. Like, the reason she passed out and stuff is because these are the early signs of her being pregnant. And maybe he realizes this, and then that's why he filmed that video and knew she was pregnant. Like, he could see the signs before she did, maybe, or something. I don't know. Well, actually, no. That probably could have drugged her as well. Now that I think about it, maybe when she drank that, she was maybe that's when she was drugged. And then that's when he came in. I didn't. Yeah, that might have been it too. So the film made 43 million in the U.S., 91% Rotten Tomatoes. What makes Jason Bateman inherently likable gives Simon a lot of his power, and its memorable performances despise the character, but also wonder if he deserves vicious comeuppance for what he did to Gordo. And that's the thing, is that he doesn't want to admit what he did, so this lying just is a complete utter disease that festers, cancerous, that just festers into this relationship and marriage more and more. Doesn't want to be honest. The paternity test. So it might have been one of those things where he filmed something and then kind of left them alone, and then wait a minute, that happened? Interesting. Well, could do this. Of course, I guess the other flip side is, well, what if it was like 2 years later? Then it would happen either. So that's where it gets it to the point that, let's say, what if she didn't get pregnant until 2 years later? Then what? So I guess it leads to that question. That if he didn't do it, then would he drugged her, and then remarkably at that very same time she got pregnant? So I get why people say maybe he did do it, because that, how does that work? Just again, maybe he filmed it just waiting to see if that ever came to be. But again, what if they didn't get pregnant for another 2 years? Would that tape still have worked? I don't know. Mm, uh, the lie showcase further and further. Like, why didn't you tell me about this? But also, there's the question of if he did it one time and one time, that only time, it just magically result in pregnant. Because you can have sex with someone and doesn't automatically mean a birth either. So what if he had sex with her and then she didn't get pregnant? What, he would do it again and again and again? Her doing your own research. Sorry that I'm just watching. Sorry. Mm. If you wonder why I'm saying, I'm listening to the dialogue. It's been a while since I've seen this. This is where she finds out. You heard him? He said he made peace with Gordo. That means Gordo went to him. I probably would have. That means Gordo would have done the same thing to him, but because he made peace with Gordo, Gordo left him alone. So Simon made it all up about him being in a car, about him being gay. Why would he do that? Because he could. Simon was a bully. A mean streak. Made this whole thing that ruined Gordon's life. It's amazing how an idea can take a hold and bring a person down. That's the thing, like, they make it so apparent with that. That's why I think the ending is. It's the idea. The dad tried to kill him, and then he was sent to what, military school? And it said, yeah. That's why it makes it for interesting discussion and thought process. So definitely interesting take on it. out of proportion. So this fully showcases the kind of person this guy is. That's about winners and losers and all this stuff. This whole speech. People are like, well, how could she not know until then? How many people throughout the ages have gotten married, and then after a few years they realize who the person really was, or the person they disregard certain things until it finally comes to fruition after marriage. This is why people get divorced so much. How many people divorce all the damn time? Realize I have no idea who you really are. So this is where he's going to have his half-ass apology. I think he beats up Joel Edgerton's character as well. I think so. Yeah, I bet you did. It's too late for that bullshit. Too fucking late for that. Done with the past. The past is not done with you. Of course, what is the meaning of it's too late for that? What a dick. Treat him more and more like a fucking dick. Now maybe the too late means I already got the footage I needed and you've been a complete utter dick, so you know what? I'm tired of bullshitting with you. And you beat the shit out of him. And you beat the shit out of him. He's gonna lie again. So appreciative. What is lying sack of shit? Lying sack of shit. And what? Sure it is. Lying sack of shit. What a lying sack of shit. You lying fucking asshole. Yeah, just lie more and more and more, fucking dick. Should have lied, you son bitch. So either they're both monsters and this is the monster you created, or whatever the hell the deal may be. I talked enough about the ending. It's up to you to decide. Look at the comments under, like, someone put the ending up on YouTube. For the people that caught up on, say, they could take a DNA test, that's not the point. Gordon wanted Simon to feel pain. The baby could very well be Simon, but he'd be left forever wondering if Gordo did what he thinks he did. On top of that, he has to convince Robyn to take the test and tell her what Gordo may have done. But he lied so much about Gordo came in with a broken arm that she most likely not believe him and instead think he's trying to badmouth Gordon even more. If he somehow reveals the video, she would forever be stuck with the memory of what may have happened to her, which I don't think Simon wants. So Gordo wins psychologically against Simon because he'll never know the truth. And also that comment before where you get the idea that she was bullied back in the day as well, so she sees that her buddy is a bully. Hmm. Fucked over someone for a job as well. Now, maybe if they had where Gordon somehow got this evidence to this Danny guy to ruin his job, but Gordon didn't really do anything with this. I guess he didn't really have to do anything on that front, just. Maybe the idea is that he planted these seeds to make him think back to his high school days and be in that mentality. to then do this again. But I don't know. I think it would have been even better if somehow he also got him fired. That he purposely maybe sent the email or something. I wish they had gone in that direction. Yeah, things ain't gonna end well for you, buddy. There you go. Yeah, she's probably saying, go fuck yourself. So his job, by his own fuck ups, then him lying constantly and her find out he's a bully. And now here you go. This is where again it'll implant the psychological doubt into a gift is I'm going to poison your mind. Maybe that's the gift onto itself. Into self. Yeah, here you go. The whole thing here. Play me, yeah. Play me. This is what you reap what you sow, motherfucker. Sort of that. But again, she's the most innocent victim out of all this, of course. Doing this like maybe And the whole thing just didn't treat him, you know. He listened to all the terrible shit you said, and I thought Joel Edgerton plays this pretty nice in a subtle manner, quite a subtle manner. You have that poison of the mind. I was gonna say, man, they really ratchet up that damn music. So the moral is don't drink Gatorade. Drink water. Fuck, drink soda. Don't drink Gatorade. There's the moral. Don't drink Gatorade. That's the moral. Fuck Gatorade. And fuck Monties as well. Monties will fly out your butt. As well as he knows that this guy thinks of him as this weirdo, that this guy all the time. Good people deserve good things. So is the good thing that you could never get pregnant and finally you did get pregnant? Or is the good thing is to get out of this, granted fuck the way you're doing it, but getting out of this bully relationship and you're able to get something you wanted out of it, a baby, but now you can get the fuck away from this piece of shit. So now again, this whole thing of, can you imagine the ending? The next scene is the two of them walking together, and there's like this whole plan all along by the both of them. Talk about that be a hell of a whiplash. But the way Jason Bateman's character is now, you're seeing like he would try to really hunt down hunt this guy down, and the way Jason Bateman's character seems like after this he would just make his mission to hunt this guy down until the last of his days. I think this is where you get the phone call from him. Yeah, there you go. So he says, "Oh, you don't tell her, or am I?" So right there showcases that he's not going to tell her. Because either he tells her, if it's true, then because of your bullying, you create a monster, and you train the monster gotta be raped. If it's a lie, if it's not, then it's more of this paranoia from you, and you've lied and bullied so much. Who knows? Was this another way you manipulating me? Because I don't trust you. You poison other people's minds with ideas. You poison other people's minds with ideas. Chris, the eyes could just be the mother's eyes as well. Hell, maybe the eyes is more her eyes and her disdain towards him. Maybe that's more the eyes you should be looking at. Like maybe those are the eyes more important, being all in the eyes. Not so much the baby's eyes, but her disdain towards him. Your lying, bullying was cancerous to Gordon, was cancerous to her, and cancerous to your job. So at the end of the day, not that Gordon gets a free pass, but you fucked up your own life as well. Big time. There's a hell of a way to get revenge without killing someone. There you go. That's all he wanted. Wore that arm sling to mess with the minds as well. And there you go. So yeah, like I said, a very interesting movie, very heavy in its psychological format to leave you into the notion of what the ending is. That's up to you to decide. I think it's very well acted. It's pretty well filmed. Might not be the most exciting in terms of there's not chases or fights or anything, but definitely earns the psychological aspect of its subgenre. So, again, still liked it to this day. Joel Edgerton did a very solid job. Acting, being subtle, not over the top. Jason Bateman, showing that he could do more than just comedy. And Rebecca Hall as well. Very nice. So with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Walker. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.